One of the things that I found while exploring out in this area is that all of the popular hiking areas or outdoor recreational areas are packed, super crowded. But places that are more like this, where there's still some absolute beautiful things out here, but people just don't know about them, it's usually empty. No one's here. And this is a rare exception to one of those times, just because it's hunting season and this place is deep, but not so deep. The reason why this area in specific is a little bit more obscure than others, mostly because of the name, and it doesn't seem very interesting on first glance. One, it shares the name with a much more popular hiking area, and so if people look up the name, they're going to get redirected to the much more popular place. The other part of it is, it doesn't seem like it'd be very interesting until you actually get close. And I'm hoping to show you that today. I've been out here once before in the spring, going this time because I heard a story from my coworker that I kind of want to investigate. What is that bug? That's huge. It's enormous. My friend and coworker of mine is someone who grew up near this place. He told me that 10 or 20 years ago, he saw the battered remains of a ladder on the north side of the mountain. His dad told him that this was what was remaining of an old lookout post. He didn't know if this was for the army, for a fire watch, or what it was for. It's only September here, but it's already early fall, and the further up you go, the more fall it is. Before Americans pushed them from this area, the Ute people used to live here. Not many of the Ute survived the massacres and conquests of America. The specific clan of Ute that lived in this area does not even have a Wikipedia entry. Just because the Americans have pushed them out doesn't mean that their settlement of this land will last forever. In a place like this, all the small towns are slowly vanishing. The humble cabins in these towns are either being allowed to fall apart, or wealthy individuals from across the country will buy the land, demolish the homes, and build an estate on the property. It doesn't take much driving, hiking, or exploring to find cabins that have collapsed, or ruins of some mine on the side of a mountain. The Rocky Mountains are filled with ghost towns and tragic stories of loss, failure, and abandonment. There she is. This tree that's fallen right here. How long does it take to get this decomposed? Must be a lot of termites or something. I think these are spruces. It's hard to tell. I'll have to check out what that type of cone is. You can kind of see the trail is just now starting to disappear. We're officially off trail now. So now I get the pleasure of just navigating, I guess. There's an abandoned little campsite over there. I wonder how long it's been there for. Not much trash. I see like a bottle over there and a chair. Oh, they must have left this place in a hurry. I don't know what that is. Styrofoam. I thought it was like a bone. I was gonna be like, wow, a murder scene. Weird that they left everything behind though. Well, I'm pretty sure this is it. Somehow, this place still draws in millions of people every year just to see the unique landscape of the area. Although this place is obscure, this region is far from an exception. Seems like time just flew by. The trail, technically, by the map, splits right here. And there's the trail I'm going to take, which heads that direction. And then there's a trail that goes this direction. I wonder what those birds were. I feel like I spent more time here than I have for the entire rest of the trail. Coming up to the summit. Just saw a hawk fly by. Pretty cool. Start smelling like pine. Saw a recent GeoGuessr video where he did the straight line across England, and basically he had a few forested sections like this, except it was on steroids, way more dangerous. The fall here is not nearly as far, and unlike England, this place is not that wet. Well, we're getting really close. Just kind of impressed that moss can grow right there. way back in the day, it used to be a lookout post. Just hasn't been used in forever. And the going word was from that peak, you could look all the way over to Shiprock. Not really possible from this distance, way too far away. I have to admit, those were some of the best blueberries I've ever had in my entire life. It's a really pretty moss. I don't know what it is. If I had my own place and I was able to grow some trees, I'd probably scoop up some of this to bring back with me. So I didn't mention this on the way up, but you can see this patch of foliage. It's a different color in the depression. I'm pretty sure it's just because it retains a lot more snow melt for longer. Another forgotten tent or something? I wonder why it's here. I bowed near just gave myself a heart attack. I ended up spooking a turkey out from underneath a tree. I don't know what it was. I thought it was something that was running at me. You guys see that poop on the ground? Maybe black bear. This is more what I expect from elk or mule deer. You see that bird? Do you know what kind of bird that is? Yeah, it's pretty much right here that I took the photo. Seen a lot more of that poop. Hopefully I don't get it on my shoes. Whew. Very slippery. Yeah. This part of the country makes up about 4% of the entire U.S. population. The major cities in these areas have driven most of the growth in population. Over the last 65 years, the Rocky Mountains have had twice as fast of growth compared to the rest of the United States. Yeah, I have to admit, I think it looks better in the morning sun than it does in the afternoon sun. Many of the first Americans who heeded the advice, "Go west, young man, and grow up with this country," are displayed almost as museums before their inevitable disappearance. In the early 1910s, the Forest Service blazed a trail to the summit. This is most of the trail I used on this day. In 1916, they built a small hut on the most prominent peak and a ladder up to that hut. This served as a fire watch for all the surrounding communities until sometime in the very early 1930s. The structure remained unattended until the 1960s, when the Forest Service decided to remove the structure in fear of the safety of climbers up to that peak. How long do you think it takes to be forgotten? Nowadays, some occasional climbers will take this hike and with the proper equipment, be able to summit any of the peaks. Some of the recent reports have talked about how some of them are falling and crumbling apart. Well, it's been a fun hike. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been interesting learning how to edit videos and film hikes, and I feel like I'm really underutilizing the drone. So if you have any tips or tricks, or if you just like the video, let me know, and thank you.